How you doing? All right. In this video, I just want to do an overview of the latest update to the radio announcers. This is the one for RadioDJ. I'm probably tomorrow, I'm going to dig in and put in the hours to everything I've done on this one, put it in the Sam Broadcaster version. But I'm very excited about this version because it's close to being like a final product. That being said, this week will be the last week that it will be at this price, and it will go to its set price of $97. We're going to take it to a set price of $97. So if you want to get this before then, you need to get it before next Sunday. And today is the 8th, Saturday, August the 8th. So next Sunday, it's going to go to its original set price. All right, so let's look at some of these differences. This is version 1.1.1. Looks a little different. The generate button is now down here under the active announcer. And you can choose what kind of announcement you want to generate. Okay, so it won't be this one where it's automatically. You can choose the kind of announcement you want, so you can see what it sounds like, as well as like, let's say you missed it, something happened in the opening break missed. Well, you can come and quickly generate an opening break. What else is new? Next to the name, I don't know about you, but it's like some announcers have more than one slot. And I needed to know which slot was the one that was actually active. So I put a slot number next to their name so that when you go to the announcers, you can quickly find that particular announcer, especially if they got more than one slot. I also removed the show Bible information that would show here. I didn't think that was really necessary or needed, but I did put the schedule here because that's another way to quickly find that particular announcer. All right, going up to the top, you will notice I have the exit button that will exit out of the program, but it's going to ask you so you don't accidentally exit out of it. If you click the X above, it's going to memorize to the tray. On the About page, you can open the log so you can get to the logs, things that are help you debug, things that let you see what was the last announcement and things of that nature. Copy info. If you got any support issues, you're going to click copy info and paste that into an email. And that way I'll know what license, what, who you are, and whether or not you actually purchased it. Okay. Another thing that was added, this preview button. If I click it.
You just heard Anthony Hall and Jason Nelson with Focus, following that power track Greater by
This would go over the air if you hit the preview button, but not anymore. On the settings page, you can change that. All of the preview buttons will go to a separate audio device. In this case, I got it going to the PC speakers. Now, if I put it, let's see, if I put it on where I'm at now, you would hear it as clean as you hear the music.
You just heard Anthony Hall and Jason Nelson with Focus, following that power track Greater by Andy B. It's exciting to see Southern University Gospel Choir featuring Cameron Blaine nominated for 2026 Stellar Awards
pause the music
and Worship Song
to
of
come
the Year
here.
honors.
Well, we don't want the preview to go out over the air. So I'm going to switch it back to the PC speakers that I have connected onto this thing. That way it does not go out over the air. Where's that headphone? There it is. So now if I press that.
You just heard Anthony Hall and Jason Nelson with Focus.
So that goes out to the speakers. You hear that over the headphones because, of course, the speakers are loud and they're coming back into the mic. All right. Let me see if is that everything on this page. I believe so. Now, I just showed you in the settings that now you can set an output card for preview. So let's go to the announcers. There's some wonderful things in the announcers. But let me go back to settings, because there is something else new in settings. There is something now called global conversational content. What this is I wanted a way to be able to put in content like, and it's short stuff. So do not expect these guys to give you no dissertation on celebrity news. No, these are designed to do announcements. But I wanted them to do a little bit more than just songs, sponsors, adverts. I wanted them to do a little bit more. So I made something called a conversational content. Now what this is this is a list. Let me click on it. And as you can see, you see something you didn't see before. Now, when you browse and attach a text file to any content pool or show Bible, there is now an edit button that pops it right up. I thought that was needed. Okay. So on this conversational, I have a gospel station, and I went and I wanted all the nominees for the upcoming Stellar Awards, which I think might be tonight. Okay. So that means I got to change this out. And I had ChatGPT give me the list, and to start each list off with a different phrasing, right? So that they're all different. Now, what happens is the announcer will grab one of these lines, and they will not say the line verbatim. They will just take that line and decide how to rephrase that line and say it. Sometimes it may actually do it verbatim, but it's designed to give the AIs something else to talk about. This could have just as easily been health tips, weight loss tips, jokes, but I don't know about the laughing part, but jokes, quotes of the day, scriptures. This could be anything, one per line. They don't say the line, but the reasoning AI will read the line and rephrase it and include it into the announcement with the songs. But I also added, kind of hard to explain, but I also added where it may not announce a song or anything. It'll only talk about the one line that was chosen in this conversational content. What this does is it gives the announcers other things to talk about to make them sound more current, more relevant, other than just doing song stuff, if that makes sense. This is the global setting. Okay. That's the global setting. So now let's go to the announcers, because this is important with the announcers. So I'm going to get this guy since he's active. So here's what you're going to notice in the announcers. There is now a voice preview of the voice. So whatever settings you set, you hit preview, and this preview is going to go out that same device that you set.
Yo, I'm DJ Spin the Block. You're listening to the Smooth Jazz Cafe. Stay right here. We got more coming up.
Now, I got him with an urban slang because I was testing some other stuff, but that's pretty cool. He wouldn't do that for a jazz though. I would take the urban part out and the slang part out. And I normally would say warm, but I want want it cold because I wanted a more hard sound. I didn't want a I don't know, just bright. You see, you're gonna hear the difference. Watch.
Hi, I'm DJ Spin the Block, and you're listening to the Smooth Jazz Cafe. Stay right here. We've got more coming up.
Okay. So if you make any changes to the voice and the tone, you can preview it right away. And again, it will go to that second sound card output, so it doesn't go over the air. Okay. And again, all show Bibles and all, the announcers do not have a file for their content pool, but they do have a file for their new conversational content. And anywhere there's a browse button for content, there's an edit button. So when I click this edit button, I can edit the show Bible without looking for it. Okay. That was important. Now each announcer has their own conversational content, because you may have one announcer that may talk about one thing and another announcer talk about another thing. So what happens is the system will take the announcer's conversational content and the global content, randomize them, and pull from them. Pull from that, it'll pull from both of them, but it'll randomize them, and it will not repeat one. It'll go through them all before it repeats. That was important too. So that being said, there's a button here. If you don't want the announcer to use the global conversational list, you can uncheck it. Okay. So that they can have just their own. And this could be whatever you want that announcer to talk about. It can be celebrity news, celebrity gossip, movie reviews, product reviews, again, quotes, stuff happening in social media. You give them a line of information and they will elaborate on it a little bit. Okay. Trying to think what else. I think that's it. I will say this has been working. I think this started in version 1.1.0. You have an opening seed and a closing seed for your opening and closers. Oh yeah, I did change that. The opening and closers were also pulling data from the content pool and show Bibles. I did not want that because I need the opening and closings to be totally different from their regular breaks. I got him on every 3 songs. But I wanted to be totally different from the breaks. I didn't want you to hear something in the opening and closing that you're already going to get in the breaks. So now the opening and closing does nothing but open and close. So this is what I have been doing. Like this show right here came on before DJ Spin the Block, before his show. So I said, thank the previous host, Roderick Carter, for his show, The Gospel Countdown. And I'll let you see what that sounds like in a minute. And then the closer says the show coming up is the Gospel Top Urban Mix with Rachel Brown. What this does is these announcers are going to be handing the mic over to each other. As they leave, they're going to hand it to the next guy. The next guy's going to say thank you. They're going to do their little show, and then they're going to hand it off to the next guy. Even if the next show is a pre-recorded show, this still works very, very well. Okay. So let's see what some of this sounds like. I'm going to start them up. So let's do an opening break. I'm going to generate an opening break so you can hear what he does with his opening break. And I also removed the dates and the times from the opening and closing because a lot of people want to archive shows so they can run them a different time, different day, and they do not need dates and times in there. So you probably could tell it to say the time. I don't know. Don't do that. It'll be some date and time that's relative to wherever the AI is in the world. So don't do that. So let's see what this sounds like. Now this has a music bed. I need to put RadioDJ over here. Put him over here. Now this is his opening with a music bed.
Welcome to the Smooth Jazz Cafe, where the melodies drift through the air just for you. A big thank you to Roderick Carter for that uplifting gospel countdown. And now, let's begin our journey together.
Okay, of course now that music bed doesn't fit. But you see what he did. He had his own opening. He thanked the announcer previous or the show previous. And he's going into his show. Now you can add more things for them to consider in their opening and in their closing. And they might, because it's all autonomous, they might pick the information that you put in there. So let's see what a closing sounds like. All right, so in this closer, he's gonna hand it off to Miss Rachel Brown. So let's see what a closer sounds like, closing break. Okay, so he's in there. I'm gonna speed this up. See what he sounds like.
It has been a genuine pleasure sharing this time with you here at the Smooth Jazz Cafe. I am signing off now, but please stay tuned for Rachel Brown coming up next on CSA Radio.
Okay. I wanted them to just stick to that. I didn't want them pulling other content because we got the breaks for that, you know? So I just wanted them to focus only on opening and closing the show. And it just makes a big difference. Now, before I go, let me pull in a conversational. I don't know which line it's going to grab. It could grab, I think he said on scriptures. I'm sorry, but he's doing jazz now. I'm doing the jazz because this is my music and I won't get flagged for it. But I don't know which one he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to grab from the global or his own, but it'll be one of them. We're going to see what that sounds like. And then I'm going to sign off. And you guys that want to update, you know how to update. And if you haven't gotten it, this price is going to double by this time next week. All right, so let's see what this conversational sounds like. Now it's going to generate another another drop. So let me stop it right here because I'm jumping ahead.
Making this year's list of 2026 Stellar Awards Praise and Worship Song of the Year nominees is Javonta Patton for Your Name. That track brings such peace to your heart, reminding you that you are never alone. I am DJ Spin the Block here on CSA Radio DJ, and I am so grateful you chose to spend your evening with us.
Okay. That was a conversational drop, meaning you notice it didn't say anything about songs or anything like that. Okay. And that'll get picked randomly throughout the day. You know, it'll pick one of these throughout the day. Of course, the opening is at the beginning of the show and the closing is at the end. But the rest of these, the conversational, time check, station ID, forward tease, back announce, they will be randomly picked based on weight. All right. This product has become a very powerful product for anybody that wants to go beyond the the jukebox radio station. The only thing that you got to do now is just focus on imaging. Focus on your imaging. There are things in here that you can use for imaging that'll make what they're doing sound even better. But yeah, I'm going to go. It's 20 minutes in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. Like the video and leave a comment. I need to know what you guys are thinking out there. All right. Till next time.